Hello everyone, this is Abi aka onlyabidoang, and yes, you're not saying things. This is me speaking with a face cam. I know, this is coming out of nowhere, but I just want to try something new for once, experiment with things. I would like to give some more personality to my videos, so it's not just from my voice. But don't worry, I'm not going to use my face for the entirety of the video. I still use voiceovers and gameplay footage most of the time. I'll probably only use it from time to time. But if you enjoy this kind of format, well, maybe I'll do it more often. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, enough about that. Today we're going to be checking out 50 fascinating facts that you might not know in The Sims 2 for PC. It can be in the form of features, details, Easter eggs, references, oddities, you name it. And since The Sims 2 is now playable on modern computers under The Sims 2 Legacy version, you can now check these facts out for yourself. Before continuing, I just want to give a huge shout out to this Reddit user under the name The Sims 2 Addict, because most of these facts I'm going to show you are from this thread that they've already created before. I already asked for their permission to use some of the facts they've shared before and they allowed it. So if you'd like to check out the thread that they've made, I've already provided a link to it in the description, because they've shared a lot of facts about The Sims 2. Also, before we start, just want to give a quick reminder that I have a creator code that you can use when you buy The Sims 1 and 2 Legacy version or The Sims 4 packs. Feel free to use the code onlyabidoang when buying these games in the EA app or thesims.com if you'd like to support me. Okay, without further ado, let's check out all the facts, shall we? When male child Sims use the toilet while standing, you will hear a pleasing melody of the pee hitting the toilet. In some fashion stores, you might come across changing stalls with a camera above them peeking in on your sim whenever they try on an outfit. Creepy stuff. If you check out the story mode photo album of the Spectre family in Strange Town, there's this image that's supposed to take place in a high school with lockers and all that, but if you take a closer look at it, these supposed lockers are actually green refrigerators since there are no lockers in the base game. If you play the Thai version of The Sims 2, Sims are never shown nude, not even with the sensor blur, so whenever a Sim takes a shower or bath, they will always wear their underwear outfit instead. The sensor blur won't appear when they use the toilet as well, so it'll look like as if they're sitting on the toilet with their pants on. Streaking is also disabled in this version. In the simplified Chinese version of The Sims 2, the entire criminal career was replaced with a comedy career. Except for the career icon, all the job titles, descriptions, and chance cards were all changed to comedy themed if you translate them. Funnily enough, they will still wear the criminal outfit when they go to work. The second child born in a household in The Sims 2 will almost always have the exact same personality points as the father for some reason. The Freezer Bunny is one of the most iconic reoccurring mascots of the Sims franchise, but why are they called that? Well, it's because their first ever appearance was on the top shelf of the grocery store freezer in community lots in the Sims 2 base game. You can also find one inside a kid's toy box. Like the future games, same-sex relationships are totally possible in The Sims 2. But if your Sims get engaged and decide to get married, the game refers to it as a joint union instead of a marriage. Aside from the name though, the process plays out exactly the same as a regular marriage. This was likely a reflection of the time the game was released, all the way back in 2004. There's this dresser in buy mode called Hold Me Closer by Tiny Dresser Company, which is a reference to the lyrics of the song Tiny Dancer by Elton John. Back in 2005, you could download official objects from the game made by Maxis themselves on thesims2.com. One of the more iconic ones was the Runs with Scissors playset by ADD. The site has been shut down for years now, but I've linked some archive files in the description if you want to try it out in your game. You can use this scissor to, well, run around with it, using the same animation as streaking. However, if you use this item with low needs, there's a chance you will get stabbed by it and then die, playing the Death by Fright animation. In Happy Holiday Stuff Pack, there's a buildable snowman set in buy mode consisting of the bottom, middle, and top part and a hat that you can manually stack together. In live mode, you can click on each part to change its appearance, from the body, head, and hat. If you click on the bottom part, you can make it to do a switch dance, where all parts will rapidly change appearance for a while. Groovy. If you have two TVs on the same lot and change the channel of one to match the other, the footage of both TVs will be perfectly synchronized. Curiously, this detail isn't brought over to later Sims games. If you take a closer look at the cheapest TV that you can buy, you can see dust prints of someone's fingers on the top. At random times, your sim may break the fourth wall by looking directly at you for a short while. Yes, you. They may also do the same when you command them to do something they love or hate based on their personality, as if they're appreciating or complaining about your decision. If you make them pose, they will keep staring at you until you stop that interaction. When you try to give your pet some treats but you don't have any money, the game will literally berate you for being broke. Rude. You can see several footstep marks on the top of this particular foundation. When a kid plays with this fire truck toy made from the toy making station, the interaction tooltip will display a different text each time. It can say things like putting out a fire, rescuing a kitten from a tree, teaching about fire safety, cleaning the truck, and more. If you have a stuffed animal, you will notice that after around 11 days, it will turn all worn out like so. You can still use it like normal. Have you ever wondered how babies and toddlers in The Sims can be immune to fire? Well, turns out that there was an explanation for that in a particular statue's description in The Sims 2 called the Grey Woman of SimCity. It was said that the woman was cooking a turkey in the oven, but then her house caught on fire and the turkey was burned. Oh, and the woman died too, I guess. But her spirit watches over all babies and toddlers from fire, making them immune. Servos from Open for Business can only die of two causes, cowplants and satellites. Some say that they can also die from Murphy beds, but I cannot confirm this. Servos can become hybrids with other occults, and their eyes will change depending on the type. A servo vampire will have a red eye and fangs, while a servo werewolf will have a yellow eye. If you take a closer look at the license plate of the UFO that has just abducted your sim, it spells ANIMATR, or Animator if you read it out loud. Cinematic cutscenes are a key feature in The Sims 2 for moments like marriage, growing up, woohooing, and many more. But did you know there is an unused cutscene for getting caught cheating? While this feature was removed from the final game, this mod made by the username IKEA allows you to access these unused animations. It includes the animation of the cheater in the bed and the reaction animation of the sim who catches them. There is no voice or music, and the animation for the sim in the bed looks very distorted and heavily unfinished. There are also a bunch of unused animations for the old age death. The ones we usually see in the game come in two versions, good and bad. However, unused variations exist that show the elder sim rising into the sky, sinking into the ground, and a few others that appear incomplete or unfinished. One last unused animation I'd like to showcase is this set of ambulance animations. From the animation alone, it looks like it was meant to be a part of a scrap feature where a paramedic will take a sick sim, or a sim in labor, into the ambulance. In the final version of the game, the ambulance only appears as a carpool for sims in a medicine career. If a really neat sim is commanded to mop a puddle of someone who just peed themselves on the floor, after mopping, the neat sim will get furious with that person, reducing their relationship. A vampire plant sim hybrid is a possible occult hybrid that's extremely hard to manage. They still need sunlight like a regular plant sim, but because they're also a vampire, being in the sun will cause them to burn and quickly drain all of their other needs. The only safe way to fulfill their sunlight need is by using the special sunlight lamp. Fortunately, since not all of their needs deplete at once, they won't die of sunlight like regular vampires when outside during the day, but they will constantly pass out from having an empty water need. If you shift plus left click on someone's homework with the Bullprop testing cheats enabled cheat active, there's this debug option named Cremaster 3. If chosen, the game will freeze for a bit and then suddenly, a spiraling tower full of stacked homeworks will appear. Yeah, it's so over for the kid. Don't worry, after a few moments, this stack of homework will disappear. With the Move Objects cheat active, you can place an object at Sim's body parts, including hands, chest, and head in buy mode, sorta like the Set as Head cheat from The Sims 4. Not all objects can be placed like so though. Only some decor objects, a few toys, vehicles for some reason, and some others. Objects placed on someone's hands will disappear after a while, but objects on other body parts will stay until you remove it. Still around the Move Objects cheat, with this cheat active, you can also move each individual chess piece in buy mode when Sims are playing a game of chess. This makes sense because The Sims 2 is the only Sims game where a chess match is fully animated, with every piece moving properly during gameplay. One last thing about the Move Object cheat. If you hold shift while moving a sim in buy mode, you can place a bunch of clones of them into the world. These clones act like separate sims, but in other Sims relationships panel, they are all still considered the same person. It's super confusing and I haven't had the chance to test it more yet. As you may know, Sims in The Sims 2 have 8 needs. But in the beta version of The Sims 2, there was a 9th need, the family need. This need could be fulfilled if you interact with a family member, but the feature was ultimately scrapped before the final release. If both Mrs. Crumplebottom and Unsavory Charlatan happen to be in the same area, he will immediately try to serenade her, but after all that, she will end up whacking him with her purse. The color of a Sim shopping bag when buying items at a business venue depends on how much they spend. If they spend less than 600 simoleons, the bag is brown. Between 600 and 2000 simoleons, it turns blue, and if they buy more than 2000 simoleons, they will use this gold bag. The perfume that Sims can buy in the downtown area is named Compulsion by Melvin Stein. This is a reference to a real-life perfume named Obsession by Calvin Klein. Child Sims can die of certain causes, such as fire and drowning. However, the ghost of a child Sim is very bugged. The game doesn't have the proper animation of them floating, so they will teleport from one point to another. Sims can pick a specific slice of pizza using the cursor, and each slice can even be moved individually in buy mode. Pregnant Sims are completely blocked from cleaning a dirty cat litter box, which makes sense because in real life, handling cat litter carries the risk of contracting toxoplasmosis during pregnancy. If you activate the free camera mode by pressing tab while in the neighborhood view of River Blossom Hills, try moving the camera toward the sea. You can spot a small hidden island with a moai statue on it. The pizza commercial that sometimes show up when you watch TV stars the Pleasant family from Pleasant View. You can see all the family members there, which are Daniel, Mary Sue, Lilith, and Angela Pleasant. As most of you may know, vampires don't have reflections in a mirror. However, if said vampire is already engaged or married, only their ring will be visible. The 431 Globe Street community lot located in Veronaville has 2 pinball machines placed in the exact same spot, which may cause rooting issues sometimes. This bug remains unfixed. If all the adults in a household die, the social worker will take away any child or younger Sims, making the household unplayable. However, if a nanny is hired at the moment the last adult dies, the kids won't be taken away right away and the household stays playable. Technically, the game considers the nanny an assigned adult in the house. But once the nanny leaves, usually when the kids go to school, the social worker will show up again after they get home and finally take them away for good. You may know that a flat screen TV mounted on the wall can fall down and turn into piles of debris in a rare occasion, but if there's a coffee table below it, the debris won't be produced after it fell down. Weather in general was supposed to be a feature in the base game version of Sims 2. There was even an unused scenario called the power outage, where the electricity of your house would have gone out by the heavy rain and you need to find a way to keep your sim happy. But due to technical limitations, weather as a feature was then scrapped before the final release, despite the fact that most of the resources are already in the game. Weather was then brought back in the Sims 2 Seasons expansion pack. If there are 2 or more computers on the lot and a sim is using one to play a game, other sims can join LAN party using the other computer and then play together. Ah, memories. A painting made by a sim who just died will actually increase in value a few days after their death. Normally, when your sim travels by car, taxi, or on foot, you pick the neighborhood and then choose a specific community lot to go to. Your sim will go there immediately. However, if you only select the neighborhood without picking a lot, your sim will leave the house and you'll be taken to a neighborhood view where you can manually choose the lot you want to visit. If you move the camera to take a closer look inside a bag of chips or cookies that a sim is eating, you'll actually find tiny plastic bags instead of real snacks in there. There's an unused aspiration in the game called the power aspiration. You can only access it by using the Bullprop testing cheese enabled through cheat and selecting it through the sim modder object. If a sim has this aspiration, it won't have any icon and its aspiration level descriptions are the same as the romance aspiration. So So yeah, those are 50 fascinating facts in The Sims 2 that you might not know. What do you think about these facts? Do you know even more fascinating facts? Let us know in the comments down below. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. I hope that you click like button below, and if you do and want more Sims videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. See you later!